Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 GMO suggested combinations run, where I'm doing combos suggested by you, the viewers, and we'll see what horrible combos you can come up for me to do. Today's is pretty strong, but we're just going to try to make the biggest possible explosion. My goal by the end of this game is to get an explosion that covers the whole screen, if we can manage that, because we're combining the Bull, who explodes whenever we're touched, alongside the Artificer. Artificer gets additional explosion size from elemental damage. Bull's damage scales when you buy elemental damage, and we start with a bunch of extra explosion damage, so this one should combine pretty well. The one downside to this combo is that Artificer does have half armor gain, and armor is critically important to the Bull in general, because you have to tank damage in order to actually kill enemies. So that will be a challenge that we're going to have to deal with as we go through. Making sure that we have the armor to survive our incoming damage is something we're going to need to work on. So here I could take 2 melee damage, because melee damage does scale our outgoing explosion damage, but our explosion damage already has plus 75% damage just from the Artificer's inherent explosive damage bonus. We get minus 100% percentage damage, but 175% explosive damage. These are additive, so it's basically the same as just plus 75%. So I don't really feel like I need to invest that much into damage early. Instead, I could go for luck, because that will give us consumables to heal, as we'll always be right next to enemies when they die. The consumables will be picked up immediately. I could roll for harvesting, I could roll for elemental damage. I'm just going to take the luck. Luck is always good to pick up early. Here, charcoal is an excellent find, of course, although we do lose harvesting, and negative harvesting is a little bit painful, but I still think the charcoal is going to be good. The elemental damage is great, and the melee damage, of course, helps as well, and then more elemental damage from the toxic sludge. We're not going to go with baby elephant, because that isn't an explosion, so it just has minus 100% damage, but I'll lock the lumberjack shirt and do a reroll here. Landmines do explode, so we will pick those up. And I think with 2 items locked, we're good to go to the next wave. I do now want to roll a little for harvesting, because I really don't want to stay at negative harvesting too long. Because you just lose XP and levels that way. Better just to stay at positive harvesting if possible. Even if we don't end up investing strongly into harvesting, I'm going to try to get out of the negatives. Here I will reroll looking for harvesting. Dodge is actually pretty good on the Bull, but I'm going to roll one more time. Missed, unfortunately, so I'll take the luck here. Cute Monkey is a good way to heal, and we will need that. Duct Tape is pretty nice, although the engineering damage isn't particularly helpful. I think I'm going to roll past the Duct Tape, but I will lock the Cute Monkey. We do lose 3 damage on our explosions from the minus range damage, but I think the healing is still pretty valuable for us. Baby Gecko, range doesn't help on the Bull, of course, at all, but pulling in materials can be useful. Most of our materials should drop from right next to us, though, so that's not something I'm gonna worry too much about. Obviously, we do have those landmines, and we might end up with more explosions later on. If we find, like, an explosive turret or something, we would pick that up. But I think overall, the Baby Gecko's just spending money for not much gain. Part of the reason I picked up landmines is we could buy them for 19, and we just get 1 extra item held, one unique level 1 item. So if we find fairy later on, that's good for us. Take the weird food here, and then regeneration is pretty good, and it's a level 2 upgrade, so we'll pick that up. I really want the elemental damage. I also really want the speed. Speed is really important for this character, so I'm going to pick that up. Magic Barrier is awesome for us, obviously, so we're definitely going to grab that. But first, let's buy this, and let's lock the cake. I won't reroll with 2 items locked for 4. Speed is really important on the Bull, because you need to get right next to the enemies in order to do damage, and some of them run away from you. But also you really need to be able to dodge, because you want to group up enemies and then hit them all at once with hit a large number of enemies all at once when you're closer to full health, like so that you can kill a large group of enemies while only taking a single hit. because the danger on Bull is that you end up tanking a lot of hits. Let's see if we can hit that tree. I shouldn't have gone for it, I guess. I was right at the end there. Still want harvesting, but I'm still just going to take the 10 luck here. When we see luck, it's pretty good to pick that up. Magic Barrier will help with our elemental damage. Losing dodge and attack speed mostly don't matter for this character. Dodge can be very good on Bull, but for this particular version, I think we probably won't end up building it because we've gotten so much negative dodge. But obviously, the Magic Barrier itself is excellent. We'll buy the cake there, and then I'm going to reroll. Take some harvesting for sure, obviously taking dynamite. And then while I do want to keep my luck high, we do need to buy every regen we see, so we're just locking this entire shop. I'm not that worried about boosting my elemental damage yet until we get a little bit more of our economy and defenses rolling. Those are sort of more important. Right now, we're still one-shotting every enemy, so we don't need to worry about increasing our damage that heavily yet. More luck would definitely be helpful right now. Our low armor is definitely making it hard for our healing to keep up with the incoming damage. Obviously, if we could get a self-damage item, that would help a ton as well. Those are always excellent for Bull. Here, I could just take half an armor. Crit chance is reasonable for Bull as well, or I could roll for something more relevant. I think I'm going to roll a little unlucky there. I'll take the elemental damage, and here we'll take some regeneration. Then, can I afford to buy all of these? It looks like I can. So we will. And then we're going to definitely buy the bag. Definitely buy the leather vest as well. Or maybe not, because we're at super negative dodge. Normally, I would value this reasonably highly, because the dodge is pretty valuable for Bull. Even though you want to get hit, you want to take... You don't need to get hit on the first attack that an enemy makes against you. You want to move into big groups of enemies, so dodge can help with that, and it multiplies your very good defenses already to have high dodge. So the question is, do I want to try to dig myself out of this hole that I've put myself in with negative 16 dodge by buying the very efficient leather vest item, or do I just want to not worry about that? I think we will avoid worrying about that, but lens is still a pretty efficient way to buy 1 damage, so we will do that. Even though we want to focus on elemental damage over ranged and melee damage, more explosion damage is always good, so we're definitely going to buy efficient damage when we see it. Trying to pull groups of enemies towards that landmine so it could help us with wave clear there, and that did work out. Our very high consumable healing is excellent for us right now as well. Group up all these enemies and kill them in a couple explosions, then we heal back up. Group all the enemies up, kill them in a few explosions, heal back up. This is the normal play pattern for Bull. Making pretty bad income, but we do get another magic barrier. All right, well, I'm glad I didn't buy the leather vest there. Let's reroll here. 3 ranged damage. I think I'm going to reroll, because even if we find a level 2 melee damage, that's better than 3 ranged damage. And we could find elemental damage instead, which we did. That's awesome. With double magic barrier as well, that's a pretty incredible find for us. Bag, obviously, we're taking. Dangerous bunny we'll take. Let's roll here. We have a -% damage because we're the Artificer, so the picket sign is awesome for us, just an incredible find. And we will take the charcoal as well, increasing our explosion size even further. If I get some plastic explosives, that would be really good. I do need to increase my speed now. I've reduced it quite a bit with the double magic barrier, but that's kind of the only stat I'm really hurting for at this point. Now that we scale our armor with elemental damage as well, even with the -50%, we shouldn't have too much trouble getting high armor values. So that's something I'm a lot less concerned about than I was before. Making sure to heal up in between tanking all the hits. Want to kill those ranged enemies, both because they can hit you when you're not expecting it, which can be dangerous. Can we get this loot alien before the end of the wave? Nice. and because they have a higher chance of dropping crates than the other enemies in the game. When it's free like this, I will lose 3 health for 1 armor here. Armor still is super valuable for this character, and we'll take elemental damage. Then we will take the picket sign. I'm going to take the weird food. I'm going to roll past the goat skull now. I think we're just going to scale with elemental damage as much as we possibly can. And fuel tank is still good. Normally not an amazing item for bull because you gain 4 damage, but you lose 2 damage. So basically you're paying for just 2 flat damage. But for this version of the character, elemental damage scales our explosion size as well, and also we get more of it because we have the double magic barrier already, so the fuel tank's going to be excellent. I'll still take this, and I'll take this as well, because I do want to increase my regeneration. If we can get to like 100 regeneration, that would be ideal. Any plastic explosive I get to increase our explosion size is really nice also, because that explosion size increase is additive on top of our current explosion size increase. But additive explosion size increases multiply better than other additive stats in Brotato, because they're adding to a radius. And so the amount of area that they cover increases by every time you increase the radius. The amount of actual area that it increases by every time you increase it goes up, because the outer edge of the circle is bigger than the inside of the circle. You, of course, come here to youtube.com/Cephalopocalypse for stunning insights like circles get bigger the further out you are. We're going to take 9% speed, because my move speed was truly atrocious, but we're going to atrociousify our move speed even further by taking the magic barrier before I buy the fuel tank here. And then I'm going to reroll by more elemental damage. Slowing enemy move speed is still pretty good, so I'm going to buy the snail, and I don't think I'm going to spend on the duct tape for half an armor here. I mean, armor is still really good, but we're building enough of it off elemental damage that I don't think I want to decrease my max HP that much. I need to have my max HP increase a little more first. So group up all the enemies, kill them all with a single explosion. Rinse, repeat. I assume that lather, rinse, repeat is one of those phrases that's secretly from an advertising campaign. Like a lot of, like, now we're cooking with gas, or one of those where it's just passed into the lexicon, but it's just originally from a marketing campaign. I don't know, someone go sleuthing on Google. Let me know. Definitely taking this, obviously losing attack speed doesn't matter, and while the melee damage is less valuable than elemental damage would be, max HP is still really good. We of course don't care about the community support, so we're recycling it. Here I'm going to roll, I'll just take 2 elemental damage, and then I'm going to roll for elemental damage there. Do I want 15 luck or 2 elemental damage, which does get increased by 45%, so it's almost 3 elemental damage. Actually, I don't know if the magic barriers give us additive or multiplicative increases, so that's an interesting question. Or do I just want 9 HP or 15 luck? I think I'm going to take the damage here. Then definitely the move speed. Rip and tear is awesome. We can now chain explosions through enemies. I do need to boost my harvesting back up, though it's less important with the negative harvesting later in the run. If you end up with late negative harvesting, that doesn't matter as much. But I'm definitely buying out this whole shop, rolling again, taking the plant. Cute monkey costs us damage, but still great for healing, which we do need. And warrior helmet I will still take. Let's roll again here. Crown, a little bit unfortunate with our -4 harvesting, but I will definitely take the takeout. Much more comfortable move speed now. increasing enemy move speed mostly doesn't matter for Bull. Decreasing it can be useful because it can mean that we are able to catch up to enemies that are running away better. See, we won't have to camp next to a tree once my explosions are big enough to cover the whole screen. Already the landmine explosions will kill most trees because we have Lumberjack shirt as well, so we shouldn't have too much issue with breaking trees. I guess the geckos, as my explosions get bigger, the geckos get more useful. I still don't think we're going to end up struggling too much with money on the ground, at least not until the late game, but I wasn't really thinking about how big the explosions were going to get when I said that all of the money would land right next to our character. That's normally true on Bull, but obviously normal Bull doesn't have the explosion size increases. I don't want to increase my percentage damage because we have that picket sign, so I'm actually going to recycle this and then reroll here. Just take the regeneration. More enemies, definitely. Even though we lose harvesting and we lose lifesteal, that's still just more money for us, so it's very good. I will take this, and then I could start building critical hit chance. Crit chance is pretty nice on the Bull. Our explosions are for 251. The Bull explosions critically hit for 1.5 times damage, so basically every point of crit chance that I buy here is a 1% chance of getting 1.5 times damage, so it's worth approximately 1.25 damage per crit chance that I buy at this point. So I'm going to buy the Claw Tree here. Buy the Gentle Alien, definitely. Don't really need that, but losing 3 damage for the Schmoop, I think, might be too much. No, we probably need the defensive stats more, so I will buy that. I'm also going to reroll here, and we end up with 2 great items locked, so feeling good about that reroll for 11. So more explosion damage, of course, is something that I do want. If we can find another dynamite, that would be awesome. More explosion size would be really awesome. The lack of plastic explosives, even though I did buy a lot of early luck, means that we aren't finding as many of those. Oh, I also have the Rip and Tear dropping money elsewhere on the map. But as you can see, we're still not really having an issue with materials on the ground. Like, there's some, but it's just not holding our economy back significantly, so I think passing on the geckos was the right move. Like, we left 19 on the ground, that's not a problem. Yeah, I guess we're gonna just go deep on negative harvesting this run. Take the elemental damage there, buy all of these, and roll. Stone Skin does cost me half an armor, or it cost me 1 armor, so we would get +6 max HP there. Wait, why is it? Oh, for every permanent armor. Yeah, because most of our armor is coming from the magic barriers, so we're not gaining much from Stone Skin. So I don't know that losing 1 armor for 6 HP is good here. I might choose not to do that. Going down to 5 consumable healing seems fine, so I'm going to buy the Alien Worm, we'll lock the Alien Magic, and I think I will pass on Stone Skin. Alright, so can we beat this elite? What I want to do is have it grouped in large groups of other enemies, if possible, so that we can hit it with Rip and Tear explosions, as well as our actual explosion. And then we kind of get multiple value from every time we tank damage, because we don't want to tank too much damage too quickly, or we run the risk of dying, of course. So the goal is to group it up with other enemies so we can hit it with the Rip and Tear explosions as well as the actual Bull explosion. There we go. Managed to kill it. Wow, that was a lot of loot aliens. Because we have a super high enemy spawn rate on this character, and the loot aliens are affected by enemy spawn rate. So that one lure gave me 4 crates. Or I think one of them was occurring naturally, but we have like at least 50% alien spawn, or 48% alien spawn, so that lure was worth 3 crates. I'm going to... Do I take this? I think I'm just going to focus on flat melee damage. I think the crit chance is actually better. I will take 10% crit chance there. 20% dodge, but we lose a whole ton of stats. Unfortunate that the cape isn't particularly good. I do want the move speed, but I really don't want to lose elemental damage. And Ugly Tooth, we can slow elites with this, and it pulls a unique out of the pool, so I think I will take it, even at the cost of some move speed, but we can get that move speed back by this, this, and this. And then because it's a free reroll, I'll take the Alien Worm. I will try to increase my my consumable heal more than that now, though. Elemental damage and regeneration, that's perfect, and the Lucky Charm is also perfect. The wheelbarrow will still pay for itself at this point, so I'm just going to pick it up, and another bag is awesome. And then we'll take the magic barrier. We have 72 regeneration, so I'll take the weird ghost as well, and the gentle alien. This is a perfect shop for us. Looks like we'll get all 4 magic barriers, which is great. So then any elemental damage I find will be increased by 60%. Big group of floaters that got exploded there. You can see that our landmines are no longer killing enemies because we don't have any engineering. So just the explosion damage increase isn't enough by itself to make them actually kill enemies. Just want to get close enough to the tree that we kill it. So at this point now, I still don't think I'm going to buy geckos if I see them, but I would be reasonably happy to see Sift's Relic, because there are some materials on the ground. But we're still leaving, like, less than 50 around, which is fine. I'm going to recycle this, because the attack speed doesn't do anything for us. It would decrease the spawn rate of our landmine, so I don't want that. 15 luck, or do I just roll for elemental damage? Oh, right. Our luck is coming from the... I was wondering where we got all of this luck from, but it's coming from the picket sign, because we have this huge negative percentage damage. Let's roll here. I'm going to roll again. I'm really looking for elemental damage, but I'll take 9% crit chance. We're going to buy the magic barrier here. Gentle alien, weird ghost. I need to remember that and not tank a hit right off the start. Another bag, great. Gentle alien, excellent. Small magazine decreases our percent damage, which is actually good, because we do have the picket sign, and gives me 2 ranged damage, which is a little bit of flat damage. So it's not a 0 for this build, but I think we're going to avoid it. I'd rather just find other stuff that we care about more, like, for example, this energy bracelet. Garden could also be pretty good. We do have still +4 consumable heal, so I think I will pick up the garden. Just lock that. Or do I just roll more for elemental damage? I think I'm... With 4 magic barriers, I really just want elemental damage more than anything else, so I'm basically just going to pass on things that aren't that. Just going to wait a bit, dodge some enemies just a little bit until we have the HP to start blowing them up. As we took the weird ghost there. At the beginning of the wave, it doesn't matter that much if you don't kill stuff, because the enemies aren't... You aren't going to reach enemy cap, spawn cap anyways, so you can wait a couple seconds before killing stuff and not give up income that wave. These explosions are really starting to go off here. Also, I don't know about you watching, but I am starting to get some pretty serious audio lag, with the explosion sounds coming well after the actual explosion. Just because the rip and tear explosions are all being calculated at once. And this game, rightly, I think, lags the audio rather than lag the game. I think that's a good choice that they make. Extra ranged damage, extra damage, which is both good and bad, of course. And losing 5% crit chance. I think the heavy bullets is worth it. It's not amazing, but it's fine. I'll take the elemental damage here. Just, that's still better than anything else we can find. I'm going to roll past glass cannon, because we do have the picket sign. So I do want to avoid increasing my percentage damage too much. I'm going to roll here, and I think I will also pass on the landmines at this point. They're no longer doing that much for us, but we'll buy some increased move speed. Capping our move speed for 8 regeneration, I actually think I want to avoid that, because 9% move speed is pretty low, so I won't buy the shackles here. Normally I'd be very happy to buy Clover, but of course we don't use the dodge, so is 20 luck just worth it by itself? It probably is still. But let me just go with the defensive stats, because we're going into an elite fight. And then I'm not going to lock the Clover, I think. We would buy it, probably, but I'm still just looking for elemental damage. Alright, so this should be a fairly hard elite for us. It's just hard to focus damage on it, because it runs past you. And it won't stay in crowds of enemies that easily, which is how we have to DPS down elites. Normally, it's very hard for the bull to kill elites in general. This build, because we have Rip and Tear, is a little better at it, because we can stack those explosions. Provided that we can actually get the elite to hang out in a group of other enemies. I should be building some melee damage just to make sure our Rip and Tear explosions aren't falling too far behind as well. Just gonna go pick up all the materials that we dropped there, of course. Feeling pretty good about getting defensive stats that wave. It let me play much more aggressively. Sure, Gentle Alien. Regeneration Potion is awesome. Here, I'm going to roll, I think, for elemental damage, if possible. It wasn't possible, so I'll take 2 regeneration. Not going to buy the marksmanship, because I've banned it in these runs. Mastery, we get 6 melee damage for -3 range, so it's a net +3 damage for the bull. But also, our melee damage is more important because of the existence of Rip and Tear. So, is that worth buying it? I don't think so. I think I'm going to pass on it and just keep going. Here, I almost bought the coffee out of habit. I, never don't buy that when I see it. But I will buy the Claw Tree, and then I'm going to roll again. Buy another Claw Tree, and then roll again. Buy the Plant. I don't care that much about capping my max HP, so let's buy the Handcuffs. We're at 98 already, and that's a huge amount of stats for us, obviously. Insanity, negative damage plus crit chance. That's great. We want both of those things. And then we lose 8% damage. We would get 16, 17, 18, 19, 4 ticks from the Tractor. So we would slightly lose money on the harvesting from Tractor, but decreasing our damage is sort of appealing by itself. I think I'm going to pass on it, though. Losing an elemental damage for 10 luck here, I don't think that's worth it, but I will buy a Rip and Tear and a Spicy Sauce. More ways to create explosions seems pretty good to me. Yeah, I love how many enemies are spawning now. Alright, I don't think we're going to get a screen covering explosion quite. Although the landmines might be, because they have a larger base explosion size. Let's see. Oh yeah, so that almost covers the screen. And then the Spicy Sauce also has a pretty big explosion size by default, so when we get that, that should cover the screen more heavily. Still haven't found a plastic explosive, which is what would make this build really come together. That would be a pretty huge explosion size increase. But I can't say I'm complaining about our 4 magic barrier elemental damage build. That's just super fun and has given us all the armor that we could possibly need, even on this Artificer version of the bull. Yeah, I'll keep reducing my max HP with the Claw Tree. Cyberball will recycle. More elemental damage, definitely. Tentacle is good healing for this character as well. It's a good way to heal. Roll here. More elemental damage. Do I want metal? Our max HP is already over cap. Armor, we only get half value. Only the move speed is something that we actually care about. I'm going to roll past it. Will coupon pay for itself before the end of the game? Possibly. Let's see. So that's 57. So it might. And then I'll buy the Insanity here as well. I just want to get as strong as possible before fighting the Elite. We're up to 45% crit chance, which is pretty good. Alright, let's get you on top of some other enemies so that we can rip and tear, explode you. So I'm just pulling all these rib cages over to the Elite so that we can layer the explosions. Nope, don't want to blow these up. This is another Elite that's tough for this character because it runs past you, so you can't focus damage on it as easily. But we have plenty of damage, so we should be able to kill it no problem, and you can see the rip and tear explosion actually took it out there. So I need to, I want to find a consumable on the ground so I can test the spicy sauce explosion size. Okay, it looks almost screen covering there. When the explosions get big enough, the game stops actually displaying them as well. Recycle this. Obviously, we want the potato. Great item. Do I roll or just take 1 elemental damage? Honestly, 1 elemental damage is so valuable for this character, I'm just going to take it. Then here I'm going to reroll, take regeneration, elemental damage. I'm going to roll past the focus. I will roll past all of this. Grind's Magical Leaf will only tick a couple times, so that's not particularly useful, but I think the Hunting Trophy will pay for itself with 45% crit chance. And then I'll roll again. We're over HP cap, so we don't need the Weird Ghost, even if we wanted to buy that. 8 regeneration, I don't think so, but I'll buy the Lemonade here. And then let's go to wave 18. So in 2 waves, we have to have the Hunting Trophy pay for itself in 2 waves. And it costs, I think, what was that, 157 to buy? I don't remember the exact number, but that's what I'm going to be measuring it against. So we'll see if it pays for itself. I have found that late-game hunting trophies pay for themselves very reliably, even with pretty low crit chance. So I'm curious how aggressive you can get with hunting trophy. I like how I keep hearing the explosions change for like a full second after I actually set them off, because all the rip and tear explosions chain through, and then the game audio lags a little bit. I'll take the 20 luck here, and we'll take the takeout as well. Let's roll, because I've got plenty of regeneration. I just want elemental damage. Blood donation, obviously, amazing item for the bull. When you're taking constant damage, you get the explosions, and that's great. Do I want the pickup range? I don't think we care that much about that. Let's check the hunting trophy. Already 68, so it might not quite pay for itself here. I could get a ton of engineering for free, basically, with the Strange Book, because we have 78 elemental damage. That's honestly too fun to pass up on. If I'd gotten more landmines, that would have been even better, but the 78 engineering is just pretty awesome there. I'll take the Panda as well. I'm going to roll past the Shady Potion, because I'm really just looking for things that increase elemental damage at this point. Alright, so we don't quite cover the screen with our full explosions, but our larger explosions definitely do. Trying to pick up as many materials as we can before the end of the wave. Looks like I need to, see, the explosion goes to there. Looks like I need to just about get 1.5 times as much radius in order to cover the entire screen with the explosion. So we would have to hit another, actually not that much, like another 50, 60 elemental damage. I will recycle the octopus because the crit chance is actually pretty useful for me here, and I will roll here, more elemental damage, and then let's take a look. So our hunting trophy didn't quite pay for itself, so bad purchase there. So I could decrease my percentage damage with Triangle of Power. Does that work with the picket sign? No, so that's every permanent negative percentage damage we have. Dang. That would be kind of fun if you could use Triangle of Power plus picket sign to increase your luck and armor. Definitely the spicy sauce. Roll again. Roll again here. Keep on rolling. We don't need Bloody Hand because we already have a way to decrease... we already have a way to take 1 damage per second. So we'll just keep rolling. Rolling again. Really looking for... I guess I'll take some crit chance. I was hoping for more elemental damage, or of course explosion size, but we missed on that. We'll take another gentle alien though, because that's fun. We have plus 71% enemies spawning. At least we cover the entire screen vertically. Tanking a few hits here, so I'm just going to wait for my regeneration to kick in a little bit. And there we go. We have defeated the bosses with the Artificer and the Bull, with the largest explosions that we can possibly get. That was really fun. Obviously, increasing our explosion size to such an absurd level was really nice. It is a pity that we didn't find any plastic explosives for even more explosion size, but we ended up with plus 332% explosion size and plus 190% explosion damage. Our economy items this run, we healed 682 off the cute monkeys. That's pretty fun. The magic barriers, I think, gave us probably plus like 30 or so elemental damage total, which is pretty nice already. And then also a ton of armor, which is great. Then our bags, of course, were worth 730. Actually a little on the low end for finding 3 bags as early as we did. I feel like we got slightly unlucky on crate drops this run. We have plus 35 luck from the picket sign, additional armor here, and everything went great. Alright, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this run with the maximum possible explosions. Yeah, I highly recommend this just for a very fun run. It's just good, clean fun all the way through, very goofy. So definitely take a crack at it and enjoy. If you've enjoyed the video, then of course feel free to leave a comment and like the video. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. So I do appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course you can subscribe to my channel for more of this and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.